afternoon, good morning, good evening, anywhere you are watching WYTV. You're welcome to another edition of News Review where we talk about the headlines that made up the newspaper. My name is Ahmed Abbas or Latunji, but you can call me Sidon J. And today I'm in the studio with...
Good morning, viewers all over the world. Good afternoon, wherever you are watching us. My name remains the same, Ambassador Rotimi Orilua, son of the prophetess, the man who resembles Wike.
All right, you know how we'll do it on the show. This is where we talk about the headlines in the newspapers of today. The sponsor for this show is still Nokpa Abbas, and you can as well be one of our sponsors. You can call the number on the screen, or you can send us a DM, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Today, I'll be starting with Punch newspaper as usual. Binance executives in NSA custody can't attend National Assembly hearing, lawyer. Disco rejects 1,769 megawatts of electricity amid widespread blackout. Approach Zimbabwe for solution to inflation, Obasanjo tells federal government. NCC defends blocking of phone lines, lawyer slams 10 billion naira suit. Then on Vanguard newspaper, corporate Nigeria shuts down Lagos for Wigwe. Dialogue, non-violence will solve conflicts in Africa, says Obasanjo. Nigeria still paying for subsidy, Isa Yuguda. Ondo Amotekun arrest 23 suspected kidnappers, 3 jailbirds, others. Then on Daily Post newspaper, Buhari sold Nigeria's future, Governor Mufwang. 70% of financial crimes in Nigeria connected to banks, EFCC. Sokoto Command fixes date for CBT exercise. Governor Yusuf Isba, Commander General Daura reconcile. These are the headlines that made up the newspapers of today. Let's go on a short commercial break. When we're back, we talk more on some of the headlines. Don't go nowhere. Stay tuned.
When life breaks into the beautiful splendor of nature, and the kids can't just resist the temptation to explore to its zenith with the full assurance that the perfect backup is on the way for a perfect refilling. Nokpa, we always come to the rescue anytime, anywhere, any day, anyway, anyhow, round the clock. Your family just can't get a better companion aside Nokpa. Nokpa Abba Mixture, your family's best bet.
With Nokpa, healthy living is guaranteed for me and my family.
Nokpa for management of power.
You're welcome back from that short commercial break, and that's our sponsor, Nokpa Abbas, that produces Nokpa Abba Bitter, Abba Cool, Abba Flusher, Abba Tonic. Sir, I know you took Nokpa this week because I saw you yesterday taking it, and I feel
it's something that has become as usual to me. If I wake up early in the morning and I don't take Nokpa, I don't really get myself.
People don't know you can actually take Nokpa to work. You can take it anywhere. It's not harmful. It's not bitter.
It depends on the product you are taking.
Okay.
Like for instance, now the Nokpa Abba mixture is good. You can take it at any time. The bitter is good. You can take it at any time. It's only the Nokpa Cool that you can only take at night.
Nice, so you can sleep well.
So you can sleep well.
Well, if you're just joining the live, it's still news review, and this is the first headline we want to look at today. Buhari sold Nigeria's future. Plateau State Governor Mufwang said this.
Well, if the governor is coming out to say this at this point in time, well, what I would just say to it, if Buhari sold the future of the country, I believe he shouldn't have come out to say Buhari, he should have said the APC government sold
that's true.
the Nigerian future.
But then,
you remember when Jonathan removed subsidy, these APC so-called people came out, there was a slogan then they made that saved Nigeria. That was their slogan, save Nigeria, that they wanted to save Nigeria from this so-called PDP, because the PDP has embezzled the money that belongs to the whole Nigerians.
And practically, this governor is under the umbrella of PDP. He's a PDP governor.
Governor, if he's PDP, he would have said it was... so he doesn't want to say APC, based that he was under the regime of...
an APC president.
An APC president.
Well, Governor of Plateau State, Caleb Mufwang, yesterday accused former President Muhammadu Buhari of being responsible for the current economic hardship being faced by Nigerians. Mufwang specifically said that we sold our future under the last administration. The governor spoke yesterday during the swearing of 22 special advisors and heads of government agencies at the government house in Jos. We are at a very difficult junction in the history of this country, and I'm an advocate that after the election you forget politics and face governance. And even though the federal government has been led by a party other than my own, I owe you the duty to tell Nigerians the truth, that this government inherited a worse situation than 1999. Mufwang said Buhari left the country's economy in terrible shape for his successor, President Bola Tinubu. So is it clear? I think it's clear now that
it doesn't.
He's actually talking about the economy.
And he doesn't want a situation in which he's going to pass an insult to the sitting.
But sir, let's look at it this way. To be sincere, during the time of Buhari, at least you as an elderly person, and you could pick one or two that you could say, okay, this is what Buhari did for the 8 years he was being the president.
For the 8 years when President Muhammadu Buhari was there, what is it that I can really reckon to what he did in the surface of the country? The only thing that I saw that went viral was the others and farmers clashes that went all over the whole country, to the extent in which when you see anybody abusing the Fulanis, what happened? Maybe you come on social media, you begin to abuse the Fulani as men now. Before you get to know, you'll be declared wanted.
But sir, that's the red flag. I'm talking about the good things.
The good things, what are the good things? No good roads. You remember when this administration came in, most of the videos that went viral were some of our trucks, some of the trucks that are conveying food from the southern part of the country to the northern part, some from the northern part of the country to the southern part of the country were being stocked for 2 weeks on some bad roads. So what are those things that Buhari could really, what are those things that we could really come out and say Buhari did? Is it from the dollar aspect that went from 220 naira, 180 naira to 550 naira?
But sir, Buhari did one thing, and I commend him on that. You know,
what are those things?
I just want to talk about one of those things.
Those things that he did.
He did a lot.
What are those
But because of the APC thing, you know, people will not look at that side. The only thing people will talk about is the bad thing.
The bad thing.
Yes. One thing that I love about Buhari's administration was that he tried as much as possible to create a job opportunity, which is Empower.
Empower.
It was during Buhari's time that Empower came into existence.
That were being created. Who are the beneficiaries? Those people that are very closer to those that are in charge of this Empower were those that are beneficiary of the Empower.
But sir,
the same Empower that you are talking of, why the we saw the vice president going to some of the markets in the northern, in Abuja, giving market women 10,000 naira. Is that same 10,000 naira that has been given to his children to trade with?
Sir, that's not Empower. Maybe you don't understand the Empower. Bringing in graduates to teaching line. That's the Empower I'm talking about. That's the program they created.
It's part of it. The money sharing is part of it. Give empowering the
That's what I'm saying. That's another aspect in what Buhari did. Although Buhari really tried, because if you check, even during the COVID-19, he tried as much as possible
to COVID-19, where food were being shared at the northern part of the country and the southern part of the country, those that are supposed to share were ordering the palliative.
So it's not his fault.
You remember that Yaya Bello came out. Live, I watched the interview on Channels Television where the palliative was given to his state. Then there was an order from the presidency that the palliative should not be shared, not until the president came for the flag off of the palliative. That he had to go to the extent of sharing it. Why do you need to wait for the president to come and do the flag off of the palliative before sharing the palliative? Only one local government chairman that refused to share the palliative found himself in mess.
Well, we're still on Mufwang saying that Buhari brought us to this mess we are facing right now. Currently in Nigeria, there is hardship, and this is caused by the past administration under the umbrella of the former president of Nigeria, ex-president Muhammadu Buhari. Well, he said, this government inherited an economy where we simply printed money up to the tune of 30 trillion naira and shared. This government inherited an economy where the crude oil we are yet to take out of the ground had been sold in advance. So when you are talking about the fall of the Naira, it's not rocket science. We sold our future under the last administration. According to him, this explains the hunger and widespread looting of warehouses and food stores across the country. No wonder you are hearing of riots today, people intercepting food on the way. We are lucky on the plateau that perhaps we have more food than many other states. And I pray that a time will not come on the plateau that we will see this kind of riots for food, but it means we must roll up our sleeves and get to work. So I think the governor is talking out of sense. Like, you know, people are shouting in different states in Nigeria that there is no food, but he said in plateau there is no much.
About the insecurity that is going on in the state.
Exactly. You see,
one thing I know in the state, those of some of the farmers, if the food that they have in their barn was being eaten now, who are the farmers that where are they going to get any other food? Because some of the farmers that are supposed to cultivate this year were some of those people that were being sent out from their village by these so-called bandits.
And that's why he said they need to roll up their sleeves and get to work. Maybe all those things
it has to be done in time. It is easier said than done.
Well, let's move on to the next headline here. Approach Zimbabwe for solution to inflation. Obasanjo tells federal government. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo yesterday advised that Nigeria should approach the government of Zimbabwe for a solution to the current all-time high inflation in the country. He noted that since Zimbabwe was recently confronted with the same problem and came out of it, the Southern African country would have useful advice for Nigeria. But before we even talk about Zimbabwe, when we're talking about countries that are rich in Africa, you cannot even match Zimbabwe with Nigeria.
Yes, what do you know what the president indirectly the president was? Well, do you know what the president was trying to say indirectly? If you are talking that in Africa, the richest country in Africa, Nigeria is #1 richest country. We have all it takes to sustain ourselves in this country. There was a story of a lady that went to Egypt. I think it was Egypt photo school there. Then one day when they were about to receive their lecture, the lecturer came in and began to call a roster. Okay, you from Ghana, stand up. You from Cameroon, stand up. You from
Nigeria.
Then Nigeria. He saw that the largest crowd he was having in the class was from Nigeria. Now say, what is wrong with this Nigeria? You are here also. You even have the most population here in my class. That the lecturer in question began to analyze that Nigeria has all it takes to survive without even them traveling to any part of the country. Number one, that there is a river along this Ondo State, within Ondo State, that the river, inside that river there was a combat. Inside that river, you see all these dry fish that were being imported from America that doesn't that was being imported to Nigeria that doesn't have we call it panla here, dry fish like that. He said before they could get to where those combat are, that there are those fishes should be evacuated from that river. That if Nigeria says they wanted to be killing that fish and begin to eat that fish, that it will take Nigeria 100 years, Nigeria alone, to eat those fish before getting to the source of that combat. Why is it that you people were not utilizing what you have? The only thing we base our focus on was just the crude oil.
Yes.
The crude oil, nothing else. Anybody that comes in power now, any sitting president that comes in power, before you get to know, you see a lot of them having their home where they dug crude oil. That is their main focus.
But sir, talking about Nigerians traveling out, I mean, I'm always ashamed of this country in some aspects because I don't know why Nigerians are going to African countries like Libya, like
Egypt,
Kenya, you know, to do business, Cote d'Ivoire. You know, Nigerians are just many in
even Sudan. They go to Sudan to follow.
I don't know what we are looking for, but all these fair countries, they are looking for a way to come to Nigeria. Nigeria is supposed to be like a country that is in center for every other African countries to come and do business.
Nigeria is a very good country. We have all it takes, according to what I said, to survive. But the problem Nigeria is having is bad leaders that we're having. Now, a minister, I think a guy in Dubai, think in the United Arab Emirates. He said, now look at Dubai. The only thing they have in Dubai, I think they have oil in Dubai.
They have oil and gold.
In Dubai. That is what they were using to sustaining themselves. Now that Nigeria has the reason why they were sustaining themselves, the reason why a lot of people wants to come to Dubai to trade with them, to have business done with them, was that they have a good leader in Dubai that utilizes those things for the betterment of that country. But in the case of Nigeria, Nigeria have all it takes. At least they must add to the extent that Nigeria can even feed almost 3 countries, 3 African countries with the resources we have. But the clause was that the bad leaders that has been ruining, I'm not talking of rulers now, that has been ruining the affairs of the country.
But sir, I can't say the present administration is a bad leader, because once bad will always be bad until things are being done in a way.
Let's look at, for example, now those set of people that ate from the national cake while PDP was in government for good 16 years. Do you know most of them were those that have been crossing to APC based that they don't have anything to eat in PDP again?
And some of them going to Labour Party.
Is it not the same bed of? Are they not the same bed of
beds of the same feather?
Bed of the same feather.
Well, still talking about what Obasanjo said to Nigeria, he noted that since Zimbabwe was recently confronted with the same problem Nigeria is facing now, the Southern African would have useful advice for Nigeria. In his latest release, the National Bureau of Statistics put Nigeria's inflation at 29.9%. The country is currently grappling with a high cost of living, with pockets of protests breaking out across the country as Nigerians contend with increasing prices of foodstuffs. Obasanjo, speaking yesterday at a youth leadership symposium as part of the activities lined up for his 87th birthday, said Nigeria had Zimbabwe to learn from. The symposium, with the theme Opportunities for Peace, Roles of the Youth in Conflict Prevention in Africa, held at the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library, Abeokuta, Ogun State. It was put together by the Center for Human Security and Dialogue in collaboration with the Institute for African Culture and International Understanding, Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library. The ex-president said the times of challenges were not to give up but to face the problem head on and draw lessons from those who encountered similar problems in the past and overcame. But sir, when you were the president of Nigeria, you actually, some people said Obasanjo's time was okay, he did well in some aspects and there was flow of money, the economy is going on well and all. Sir, I feel even with the fact that you are one of the ex-presidents in Nigeria, Obasanjo should be able to give advice to the present administration too.
It is. Let me say, giving advice is different from you taking to the advice of an elder. You remember when President Tinubu was campaigning, Obasanjo, he was not endorsed by Obasanjo. So I believe the ex-president doesn't have the courage to call Tinubu. He's
not even courage. He doesn't have interest in his government.
In his government.
Because so they are not in good time.
They are not in good time. So how do you expect the sitting president to take to what he's saying? He was just giving his advice, if he wants to abide by his advice. Now you could remember some years back, I think early 80s, where the song we kept on singing the surface of Nigeria was Ghana must go.
Mm-hmm. Now Ghana has left.
Ghana must go. Ghana must go. And the Ghanaians were trooping to Nigeria based on the economy of Nigeria, based that Nigeria is secured, based that Nigeria is okay for them to come and have their business. Their country then was bad. Now Ghana took the challenge, the responsibility, they took it up to themselves to rebuild their country.
Now the story is on the other way.
The story is on the other way. Now when you get to Ghana now, they'll tell you Nigeria must go.
Well, Obasanjo said when the time is rough and tough, the tough must get going. No problem is new and no problem will be permanent. Committing suicide is not the end of any problem. Confront it and take it to God because it could do anything. When you have a problem, look at those who have had this problem before and how they overcame it. We have this problem of galloping inflation in the country now. But do we have a country with such problems recently? Yes, we do. Zimbabwe had this problem recently. Shouldn't we ask how they did it, even if our approach will be different? Even if whatever we shall be doing will be different, but we can ask questions to navigate our way out. Obasanjo also posited that dialogue, not guns or any form of violence, would help resolve the various conflicts on the African continent. He said that like never before, conscious effort to build and inculcate a culture of peace and security in the youth must be intensified to spur them to be at the vanguard of promoting peace rather than being used to perpetrate violence on the continent.
Okay, no.
So what Obasanjo is trying to say now is using style to talk about the conflict going on in the ECOWAS between the juntas and the ECOWAS.
Now, let me say this to Nigeria. I have a brother in Australia. Do you know what the man said 2 years ago? He said, for the past 20 years that he has gotten to Australia, the price of milk has not gone beyond what he met it. The price of cement has not gone beyond. He said they did everything to control the price. Now look at Nigeria. When Ibeto was invited during the era of Yaradua, the price of cement then was around 2,000 naira. When Ibeto was given the license to import cement, what happened? The price of cement crashed to 1,500 naira. Immediately, good luck, Jonathan. Immediately, Buhari was sworn in. Dangote, the monopolist, went to Buhari. What happened? They seized the license of Ibeto. So from there now, the price of the cement began to hike. So if this set of people were still at the surface of Nigeria, Nigeria will never move forward because they want to hold Nigeria into their pocket, hold Nigeria into ransom. So these are some of those things that the president needs to look into. So a single person now can't just come. When you see Dangote increasing the price of the cement, what happened to Lafarge, what happened to Bua? Before you get to know, they will increase too.
Well, as a good patriotic citizen of Nigeria, we should be having a positive mindset on how to, bring this country to the next level. Not we having the negativity thought like Nigeria will not get better if some set of people did not leave the seat. Well, this is where we're going to be ending it on the show today. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, X, Facebook at Wisdom Yard Online TV. Thank you so much, Ambassador, for joining us on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
My name is Ahmed Abbas or Latunji, but you can call me Sidon J. We'll see you again next time. Be good and be hardworking. Bye for now.